Welcome to Fails on the Trails. On this podcast, runners share their stories behind their DNF, did not finish, or DFL, dead freaking last, experiences. Our goal? To help you learn from what went wrong in a previous race so that everything can go right in your next race. I'm Justin Smith, proud owner of 13 DNFs, and I'm joined by
Lisa Decker, and I have 17 DNFs.
And I'm Nicole, and I have 5 DNFs.
And together we are your DNF experts. So lace up your running shoes and come along for the ride as we unpack the stories, mistakes, and lessons learned from the fails on the trails. Hello and welcome to Fails on the Trails. Thank you to everyone who signed up on our Facebook post to be a guest on the show. We have some great guests coming up soon. Today it is just your 3 favorite DNF experts. We're going to talk about past, present, and future when it comes to races because we have been busy. And I would like to start with Lisa because I think Lisa ran a race with a jackalope. Is that correct?
I did run away. Oh man, I should have brought my jackalope up here. I just finished Jackalope Jam, which for anybody who has ever wanted to do a race, do a distance, do something without like the risk of DNFing a race, I highly recommend this one because it's a timed format. So it has anywhere from 6 hours to 100 hours, which is for those who can't math. It's 4 days and 4 hours, which is the one that I do because I'm extra and I like to be there the whole entire time. And also because I'm extra, I decided to ruck the event. So I was wearing a 25 to 35 pound pack the whole entire 100 hours because why not?
And this is in Texas, right? Is it
Yes,
outside
this is
Houston?
at 7IL Ranch, which is outside like Sealy, Katy off of I-10, is also where Habanero 100 is hosted. Not on the same trails though, so there's not a lot of sand like everybody. But we did have a mini habanero this year. February is notorious for, lack of a better way of saying it, shitty weather. Jackalope usually comes with 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. It comes with rain. It comes with super cold. This year we had 80 degrees, which was a mini habanero out there. I don't know how it was just very different this year, and having not been able to heat train, it was a little rough on me. And also I was about 10 days out of finishing Rocky Raccoon 100 when I started this race. So I did have a high goal. I do have a high goal that I really want to eventually achieve at this race while rucking, but I played it by ear every day. I had no clue how my body was going to react, but which it was fine. I was just fatigued most of the time. So 100 hours is a long time. So I took a lot of naps, which was very nice.
People are probably wondering, since you mentioned it, what would the eventual high goal be to rucking?
There's a gentleman who has the overall course record, which is 206 miles for rucking. And I would just like to have his course record. I do have the women's course record for rucking. So that's something that I'm proud of, but I would eventually like to get there. But also, there was so many people during the race that were like, I wonder what you could do without the weight. So next year, if I do it again, I might try to see how many miles I can do without, because the last 3 years I've done the 100 miler or the 100 hour with rucking. And I've gotten up to, last year was the most, I did 184 miles last year. And this year I did 132 miles with it.
I'll get us back to the race, but just curious on that. When it comes to rucking a race and not rucking and it's the exact same race, is the difference mostly just the pace?
The pace, for a while, my shoulders from carrying the weight were very sore until they eventually just went numb and I just couldn't feel it. But I think it is mostly the pace. I would walk most of the time. Every once in a while, I would shuffle. So it is harder to go out and just, go run a bunch of really fast miles. You're just out there pretty much just power hiking the whole entire time, or in my case, like lollygagging and like playing games on the trail, because Jackalope Jam is a really fun race for me. I'm going to explain this and y'all are going to be like, this sounds like the dumbest thing in the world. You basically go out down a Jeep trail with rocks, dirt, grass for a mile to a cone, which we've dubbed the cone of death, and go around the cone and come back a mile. So it's a 2-mile loop, and you do that over and over and over again until you reach your goal, or you can't go any further, or you have to leave. Some people came out because they had some other plans and they went out and did what they could and then left. So it's one of those races that's just very laid back that you can do whatever you want while you're out there.
We just glossed over the fact that Lisa said she has a course record.
Yes, my only
That's
one.
awesome.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah, so it's a really fun race. There's a lot of regulars, and we've kind of developed little shenanigans that we do, or little traditions that we've started. I know Justin and Nicole, y'all saw my reels I did every night at sunset. We would bring in the night with a disco loop, and my friend Brian would go out with his big old boom box and play like 80s and 90s techno. I know that's not disco music, but we called it a disco loop. And just blast music and just get everybody hyped up because the sun's going down and being out there at night is always rough. So it was a good time.
Do you remember on the first day about how many miles you got? And were you feeling anything from Rocky on that day?
I was just feeling really tired. I think in the first 24 hours, I got over 50 miles in.
Okay.
So I slept longer overnight than I wanted, or I rested more during the heat and tried to move as much as I could overnight. I think that I did that the first 2 days because it was hotter the first 2 days out there. Don't remember when I hit 100 miles, but it was a little past where I kind of wanted to hit it. But once I hit 100, I was like, I'm just here to have a good time. And I did. It is a party. It is pretty much a party race, I feel like. It's at a private ranch, so you can just go out. I mean, we would go out and with a beer and do a loop and just play around. The photographer, Jeremiah, who's also the warehouse manager, he volunteered, he does everything. He would go out to the cone every day to take pictures, and he'd see me and he'd pat his pocket. So I knew that the cone was going to be magical. So I would go out and bring the cone a gift, like a duck and what else did I bring? I brought in a frog. I brought in a two bottles of Fireball, and underneath the cone there would magically be a trail snack that would show up. That became a game that I played during my race as well. It kept me entertained at least.
it's fun.
If there's gonna be in the future, the cone will evolve into like some kind of shelf or a table with like an offering table or
Oh, a cone
Yes.
altar.
yes.
We were talking about because it is a mile away, and once you get out there, sometimes you just need a break, even though you only have one more mile to go back. And we were talking about, man, we need like a lounge out here with like chairs and a table and like maybe some like beanbag chairs or something. But then we'd all like get lost out. We'd just sit out at the cone forever. And this year, they set up a selfie station at the cone, and they had a little tackle box with an old like iPhone in it. So we could go out and we could take selfies at the cone and videos and stuff. So they really try to make it special. That cone's been decorated over the last several years with all kinds of stuff, lights, googly eyes, jackalope stickers. I think other people bring it gifts. Let's see, there was a pickle out there, a stuffed pickle. We put one of the jackalope heads on a stick and stuck it inside the cone. And then eventually the jackalope got glasses, some sunglasses. So it was a really good time. We make it a good time out there.
Like the cone has seen some shit. Needs to have like its own like blog or its own Instagram or something, the cone of death, and it just tells stories of
I'll get on to
whatever
that.
happened to it.
But also we always say what happens if the cone stays at the cone. So I don't know if
Oh.
that would be allowed out there. And this race also is very like family oriented. I used to say not only with the runners, but like the kids out there that come and support their parents that are running. But we have the 100 hours. We have the last 4 hours of the whole entire race to ourselves. Every race ends at 9 a.m. on Sunday. And this is a tradition that I started 5 years ago, where since we have the last 4 hours, we have been out there trauma bonding for 4 whole days dealing with all this stuff. Like, we are a whole family now, so we go out and we do a loop together. We all usually it's 9 a.m., we're all grabbing, like, a beer, Fireball, whatever to bring out to the cone, like, coffee, whatever beverage you want. It's the longest loop we'll ever do. It takes, like, an hour. And Jeremiah goes out with his camera, and we're just laughing and having, like, the best time going out to the cone and just, like, reminiscing, making jokes already. And there's still people that are trying to get their mileage done. And then there's some people that haven't been done for 12, 18 hours, and they're just hanging out. They haven't even moved because they're just so wrecked. But they're like, I'm going to go do this family loop with everybody in the morning. And it's the best time. That is absolutely my favorite loop because we're just uh, again, it's the end of the race. We're all just in the best mood ever, even though we're like 4 days in with very little sleep. We have blisters. We're hurting. We smell like crap. It really is. It's the funnest race.
Are there showers on the ranch, or you just
There
soaking
are.
it all in?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes. That was actually my plan, which I don't know why people I don't do negative miles. Like, I have my whole camp set up along the route. So if I need to go do something up at the start finish, I have to complete a whole entire loop and get back. So I would see so many people that would be down there and then they had already finished a loop and they would go back up to shower. I'm like, no, no, no. When I was hitting mile 98, I went into my area and grabbed all my shower stuff and left it on a table. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out and do my last loop to hit 100 miles. As soon as I hit 100 miles, I was like, boom, straight to the shower. That was my reward to myself, was to take a shower for the first time in 2.5 days.
It's the little things.
It is the little things. Yes.
That's cool.
But
I can't imagine taking a shower in the middle of a race and then going back out to run more.
yes, it's some people. There was a guy that I swear I saw him shower. I think I asked him, is probably more than what he told me later. But I was like, how many showers have you already had? And he was like, 5. And I'm like, we're on day
What?
2. But every time he would go lay down, he would take a shower. And I'm like, okay, but no,
It's
I needed
interesting.
one in the middle. But there's been several years where I went the whole 4 days without taking a shower. I would just, wipey, a trail runner shower. We all do that, right?
Of course. The big baby wipes.
Yeah, the big ones, the big, like, washcloth.
Yeah. I think it's called, like, shower in a bag or something like that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, those
with
are
big beauty
magical.
wipes.
And it seems
Mhm.
like that's a race where you will be doing the race and say, "I'm never gonna do this again."
Mhm.
And then you get to the final 4 hours with all the 100-hour runners, and they say, "Alright, so we're gonna do this again next year," and everyone just agrees, "Yep, we're back next year."
It is so funny because there were actually 2 guys out there that they're like, "Man, we're never doing this again. We're never doing this again." And then they're like, "So next year." So that became kinda like a hashtag or just a thing. We would just be like, "So next year, we're gonna do this. Next year, we're gonna add that." And, even with Jeremiah and Cal with trail racing over Texas, they've even gone back and forth like, I don't know if we're gonna put this race on again because sometimes the numbers aren't there. It's hard to get so the 100 hour starts, like, on a Wednesday, so it's hard to get
Mhm.
volunteers to come out and volunteer, like, on Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, they start getting some. Saturday, it's easy. Usually, it's one person, if that, manning the aid station the whole time, which we don't really need a lot, and we're pretty self-sufficient. Like, I'll go back and grab my own things, and I'm like, "I'm okay. I don't need you to help me," but they've even gone back and forth because it's hard on them. They're up. They're back sleeping, like, behind the timing stuff and just waking up if somebody has a question, but it's exhausting for everybody, I feel like, all around. Like, I've seen it as a runner, I've seen it as a volunteer, I've seen it as a timer. It's a difficult race to put on, even though it's easy on paper because it's essentially
Mhm.
a one aid station, and the only trail markings you really need is a cone. I mean, they had flags out there, but, I mean, it's kind of impossible to get lost unless you're sleepwalking, like that has happened out there a few times.
Something I mentioned to Alicia about, like, "Oh, we need if we did a small looped race, it would be so much easier on me. I don't have to mark 13 miles of trail." And then she's like, "Yeah, but we would go through so much food because so many people, every time they come back by the start line, they're eating and eating and eating. But if you have an aid station every 5 miles, that's less trips to get snacks." And I was like, "Oh, I never thought of that."
That is true, and a lot of I mean, we do pretty self-sufficient with our own things on the course. But yeah, the aid station goes through so much, and they're trying to cook, and they'll sometimes bring in pizza overnight for us or barbecue. They had a food truck and a snow cone truck on Saturday, which is snow cone
Ooh.
truck in February. It's kind of, but we needed
That's
it. It
fun.
was super hot.
Are there any well, there's a lot of parallels between the race I wanna talk about
Yeah.
and Jackalope. Is there any other stories that need to be told from the Jackalope Jam?
So I think there's a picture that was floating around after day one that I posted, or that Trot posted, and then I shared,
A
and
thirst trap?
the thirst trap.
Who
Trailhead.
So
is he?
my friend Brian, he's done this race for 4 years, and a couple years ago, Jeremiah got this great picture of him like jumping, and it looked like he was like way higher than he actually was. Well, the next year they used that picture as a promo, and they added like tattoos on him and like fire and jackalopes, like just wild photoshopping. So this year, Brian is talking to Jeremiah and was like, okay, if you take a picture of me, like I need more tattoos, I need like superhero abs, all this stuff. And him and I were coming through the start finish line, and Jeremiah is like in between like two boxes with his camera taking pictures, and Brian can't see him. I'm like, hey, Jeremiah. And he's like, where? And I'm like, he's right there. So Jeremiah got this great picture of the two of us, and he used that to Photoshop. I mean, he kept me as I am because I don't need AI to look amazing. But he added like 12-pack abs. I think he made him taller, tattoos everywhere. And I shared that, and I got a lot of messages from people who thought it was a legit picture, being like, "Is it too late to sign up?" Like, I didn't know trail running looked like that. His wife even hopped in and was like, "I wanna make babies with him." Like, it was hilarious. I even had people who were like, because they also saw my videos of him and I doing our disco loops. They're like, "Oh, Lisa, you found your person." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. This is my friend Brian. His wife and kids are here. They're fucking amazing. I love them to death. But like, he's like my brother out there. We have fun, but that thirst trap, and then all of us, the ladies tried to get Jeremiah. We're like, we're gonna come through in our sports bras with our stomachs out. Like we want like Dolly Parton boobs. We want abs. We want but I don't think we ever. We want his. He's a great photographer, so we need his good photographer skills. But his Photoshop and his AI is pretty on point right now.
That's an idea that you, because like, race photography is really huge, but if you're like, "Well, this race photography is, like, guaranteed abs, huge quads, and never, like, looking like you're suffering."
Never looked
That's
bad, yeah. I mean, we were, the smiles on our faces were legit because we were having a good time, but yeah, I was like, if he puts too many pictures out like that, people will be expecting it, so I think Brian gets special treatment. He volunteered the whole time last year. He didn't run, so he was manning the aid station every single night, so I'm sure him and Jeremiah became best friends last year. So Jeremiah and I have our little have s get he gives me snacks, he gives Brian abs.
Oh,
so I haven't told you this, by the way. I saw that image, and I was like, "I wanna make it to where Lisa's giving that guy a piggyback ride because 'cause you're a badass and you ruck." And so I took it and I put it in AI and I said, "Make the person on the right give, a piggyback ride to the person on the left," or whatever, vice versa. And it put you on his back, and I was like, "No, I want her to give him a piggyback ride because she can carry him." And it was like, "This goes against our safety standards." And I'm like, "What?" And
oh,
so apparently ChatGPT don't think you can carry like a 300-pound muscular man across the finish line. But that's AI, it just doesn't know.
Watch me, AI, I can do it.
It doesn't know what's humanly possible because we're showing what's humanly possible and it's not out there. So yeah, I'll have to share that photo with you now that I mentioned that. I was very frustrated, and I was gonna send it to you anyways, but I'm like, "No, that's stupid. I want Lisa to carry the dude."
A few other awesome performances at Jackalope. It's awesome woman, Sarah Portilla. She last year was trying to chase the overall course record, and this year she beat it. The old course used to be like 1.5 miles, so there was like a .5 in there, so she went like half a mile further, but she's still amazing. She went like 282 miles or something.
wow.
Like, we were all thinking she could get 300. I still think she can. If she kept going, I think she could have. I think she stopped. I saw my friend's 14-year-old daughter did over 100 miles. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't doing this kind of stuff when I was 14. just killing it. And every morning does her first loop reading her Bible, like she's reading while going. Like
Wow.
it's pretty cool to see. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, a lot of people that had their first, a lot of first 100 milers, a lot of first, like, they never really even done an ultra and they show up and do 100 miles out there. So it's really fun to watch people, everybody that's out there. We like to celebrate everybody's milestones. So we'll go out, people are like, "Oh, this is my 100-mile loop." And we try to make it like a party loop, and we want as many people to go out. If I can't make it, I'm like, I'll take a break. I'll sacrifice my time and I'll sit here and wait for you to finish so I can celebrate you. So that's what we do out there, and just make it a good time. And it's a big family community, like ultra running is pretty much.
That's your fourth buckle so far this year, and it just now March?
Yeah, that was my fourth buckle in like 54 days.
So you're on pace to get, what, 37 buckles this year?
No, I don't have not on another buckle quest till around June, but anything can happen. Something might pop up that fits in my schedule. I'll be like, "Oh, okay, let's go do that," because I'm slightly impulsive.
I was worried when we started this podcast about fails on the trails that it would make us more, like, inclined to DNFing or something so we can tell our DNF stories, and, of course, I DNF'd 2 weeks ago, and then I was like, "Alright, I hope we just don't start DNFing everything because when you speak something into existence, it becomes stronger kinda thing." And then, no, Lisa, you're just killing it. You're just like, "Nope, I'm just gonna get a buckle here, 100-mile here, and then, oh, let me get 138 miles with a ruck on." So, I'm very happy that we are not dragging you down in any way with having this podcast.
Well, thank you. I mean, I still have plenty of DNF stories that I could talk about, but hopefully not many more going into the future. But you know what could happen.
Nice. Are you ready to hear about my last couple of weeks?
Yes, let's go. What is this? The present.
Ooh, yes, present. Okay, so I'll take a tiny trip back into the past. 2 weeks ago, I DNF'd at Outlaw, made about 70 miles. It rained all day, crazy, rocky, technical terrain. I was in shape for it, but I really wasn't being aggressive enough to make the time cutoffs. So that DNF, it didn't sting too much just because it was such a great weekend, and usually I'm more butthurt about DNFs. And one thing that didn't we talked about this before, one thing that doesn't hurt when you DNF is when your next race is already on the schedule, and in this case, it was 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
So we had a Lake Vian this last weekend. Isaac Barnowski is the race director, and he says, like, this is called the Lake Vian Hilltop Party, and he calls it a party race. And I don't think people realize the balls it takes to call your race a party race. Because if you say this is a party race and you have a cowbell, like, no, you need to have an actual party. And he does that. He has a DJ. He has a bounce house.
Ooh.
Yeah, bounce house at the start finish. This is a 2-mile loop, and it's a beautiful paved loop in Lake Vian. So there's the paved trails and there's mountain bike trails. And what Isaac loves to do is he loves to get people that are 5K road runners and just give them a little taste of the trail, and then they kind of come over to the dark side. So what this is it's a paved loop for about a mile, and then you dive into this beautiful single track trail by a creek. And then there's this big ass hill that's 200-foot climb, and there's switchbacks up the hill. You get to the top of the hill, switchbacks going down the backside of the hill, and you're back on the paved path to the finish line, and it is a 2-mile loop. So very
Wow.
similar to Lisa's race, a party atmosphere with 2 miles. And so I'm doing this race with Stacy and Sarah. I've done races before with Stacy well, she's almost like you, Lisa. Not you are like a secret weapon whenever I do a race with you because your walking pace is so consistent. And then
Yeah.
I just make my feet match your feet. And I'm like, we're knocking out 16-minute miles like it's nothing, and people are jogging to keep up with us. Stacy is the same way. So I'm like, "Heck yeah." When Stacy's reached out and said, "Do you wanna do this race?" Side by side, I'm like, "Yep, I'm all in." So I just fell in line and the miles started clicking off. Our friend Sarah was running down the backside of the hill, and she fell and busted her knee open. It looked like it needed stitches. It had a gash on it, and
Oh no.
she went to the start line, and she was getting patched up, and we all 4 started together and we're having a lot of fun, but then Sarah and Lindsay were like, "We need to run. Like, sorry, y'all. Y'all keep doing your power speed hike. We're gonna fly." And they were flying. They were running, have fun.
Yeah.
So that's when Sarah fell. When Sarah fell, hurt her knee, got patched up. She's like, "I learned my lesson. I'm gonna walk with you guys, and we're gonna hang out for the rest of this race." And just like, not quite like Jackalope, because I think it only got up to like 82 or 83, but it was still pretty hot. We weren't very heat acclimated. So we were going around and the girls told me to put sunscreen on. I'm like, sunscreen? It's February. I was like, all right. So I threw some sunscreen on and we're moving. About 25 miles in, we're going up the hill and people start like cheering and yelling. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, it's raining. And this nice cold rain came down. I was like, this is very bad. And everyone's just like, this feels so good. I'm like, y'all, we are screwed. Like, you guys have done races. You know, when you have a hot race, you have rain, the rain leaves is chafing, like
Um,
humid hell, and just
Crazy
crazy
humidity.
heat.
yeah.
Yes. And it zaps you so hard. I knew that was coming and I took like a salt pill. And then on the next 2-mile loop, my hands swelled up. And I'm like, I am 28 miles into this race and I have swollen hands. Like, this is way too early to be low on salt. I go back to the start line. I take 2 more salt caps. I tell Stacy, I need more sodium. I fell behind on it, which is ridiculous because it's so early. And Stacy's like, I have 16 bags of bacon in my cooler and I'm not going to eat all that. So help yourself.
A lot of
Yeah.
bacon.
It's almost like she knew she was gonna run the race with me, and she has,
No.
like, this really cool, like, hipster kind of, Sprinter van that she takes to all the races and has, like, a bed in it and stuff, so, yeah, it's all decked out, so
That's
I
cool.
got some bacon and that saved me, and we kept on pushing forward, and this is the kind of part of the race, the mile, like, 25 through 50, where everything just kind of flew by. The half marathoners, the DJ left by now, and it's really just kinda junk miles. We're just moving forward, and we're still going at that super efficient pace, and at this time, Sarah's taking the lead, and Sarah has a freaking hole in her knee, and she's pushing the pace up there, and me and Stacy are like, "I don't know what is happening with her, but okay, we're just gonna fall in line." And then I said, "Okay, well, I've done this before to where I felt really good and I just never took a break, and then it was at Dinosaur Valley. And then at, like, mile 75, I haven't sat down or taken a break the whole time, and I just crashed. So I was like, "We need to probably let's agree to take a break at 50 miles." And it was getting dark, so we wanted to push through into the night. So we're moving forward, doing well, still in this 2-mile loop, and we get to 50 miles, but we're feeling too good. And so it's kind of that, like, what do we do? Should we take I was like, let's keep going a little further just because we're moving so well. I would hate for us to, like, stop, and I was worried about Sarah's knee too, because if we stop and that gets tight or stiffens up, what
Yeah.
what does that look like? And luckily, it was only 10 more miles after that where they're like, "Justin, I'm tired. Can we take a nap?" And I did the math. The cool thing about a 2-mile loop is that if you're, like, doing a 15-minute mile, it's a 30-minute loop, so you kinda do the math like that. And I said, right now, if we did a 20-minute mile, we would finish with 2 hours to spare. So we kind of have 2 hours to bank with. So 30-minute nap. And everyone said, yeah, 30 minutes sounds great. And I said, but it's going to take us, what, 5 minutes to even lay down and like take our socks and shoes off, and then 5 minutes to get back up, 5 or 10. So like, let's do a 45-minute break. So we said at midnight, we're doing a 45-minute break. And that was what we did. Did that. And then our friend Lindsay, her race was over, so she was just pacing and crewing us. And so we go back out there, and the 45-minute was perfect. And this was midnight. So we're like, this is perfect. We're going to make it to sunrise. We got our 45-minute break. I actually didn't get any sleep, but we're moving. And I come back, and Lindsay's making mashed potatoes. And I take the mashed potatoes. And I'm curious if you guys ever done this before. I go to the aid station, and they have burgers. And so I dump the mashed potatoes on the burger and have the mashed burgtato. It
Okay.
was fantastic. Highly recommend. I might even have it not in a race because 'cause I'm so curious.
Yeah. That sounds
I've
Yeah.
never
amazing.
seen a burger at a race. That's a
Instead of like a side of fries, you just put your mashed potatoes on the burger.
mm.
Yeah. It was great. It was so great. And so I
Nicole,
was
you need
You could
to
put bacon on that.
right,
yeah.
Nicole, you need to do more races. Some of them do have I had burgers at Jackalope
Ooh.
Jam. That
Mhm,
was pretty nice.
Jackalope sounds like a good time. I don't know, you might have
mhm.
me convinced.
I think you would like that.
Yep.
If we
Just
can get them to get a bouncy house.
I could probably convince them to. I mean, you're talking about the hole in Sarah's knee. Didn't
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
also get an injury during the race?
Oh my goodness, yes. My finger, it's so
Is it better?
scratched.
Amputated yet?
Oh,
You can't
what
you can't see because
happened?
it's almost healed. So, thank you for that.
I was really concerned about your finger.
And for those of you who don't know, I have a little scratch on my finger, and so when I was looking into the camera talking about Sarah as she's, like, bleeding out of her kneecap, I said, "Oh, and by the way, I have a gaping gash in my finger." So we're both fighting through pain, we're both going through adversity, kind of seems like a jerk face thing to do, but I really was trying to be funny. Everyone thought it was hilarious whenever someone was just like, "How's your knee, Sarah?" She's like, "Okay, it's good." And Justin has his finger too, and then Sarah came up to me. She's like, "Look, my aunt just messaged me and said, 'Hey, how's your friend's finger? I'm really worried about him.'" So
Oh.
Aw.
everyone really ran with it, and
Yes.
it was awesome. And when whenever the three of us ran Brazos Bend through the night, we did sing emo songs, but we also sang early throwback 2000 songs.
Yes.
So I was saying that our 45-minute nap would take us to sunrise. It didn't at all.
Mm.
We all hit a low. I got all up in my feelings because we're just power hiking. And I'm like, why can't I go any faster? Why did I hit this wall? And after my burgtato, I did have more energy. And then I guzzled the energy drink. And I was like, you know what? These girls have been in front of me pushing the pace for 20 hours. And I've been back here just following their feet, getting into a flow state, reserving my energy. There is no reason why I can't take the lead right now and push the pace. I am being such a bitch. I jumped out in front and I said, "All right, let's go." And then Sarah was like, "Whoa, that burger, that must have done something to you." I was like, "No, I've been a bitch. You guys need me to be strong. I've been weak and I'm going to be strong right now." And then Sarah, like,
Aw.
started crying. She's like, "Oh my god." So
Aw.
so we're pushing forward, and then we're going, and I'm like, "Okay, I need to bring him back to life." I was like, "Sarah, do you like late '90s, early 2000s music?" And she's like, "Justin, I really don't wanna answer any questions right now. I'm sorry. I don't wanna be rude, like, we've been there." And I was like, "Okay, if I do this, they're either gonna hate me and think I'm annoying, or it's gonna fix everything." And so I went with no scrubs. I fired it
Yes.
up, scrub as a guy who thinks he's fly, and then 10 seconds later, and I hear from behind me and is also known as a buster. I'm like, got her." So we're singing no scrubs. And then I'm like, okay, what's next? I got to get a good one next. I got her on the hook here. We got to get a good one next. And it's from the window to the wall. You got to get the little John in there.
Get
And so
low.
so now we're going around this 2-mile loop, and we're going from the window to the wall. And then after that, I did Backstreet Boys, Everybody. And before I knew it, Sarah took off right in front of me. And Stacy was back there like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, why is everybody going really fast right now?" And that
Music
really
gives you the
helped.
boost.
Music
Yeah.
is the secret lifeline during ultras. Like I spent so many years just like in my own head, like not even listening to anything and just being alone and with nature. And now I can't see myself not like playing music. And I'm the one like with you, I'll play it out loud so everybody like we're gonna have a
Mhm.
good time. If you don't like the
Mhm.
music, tell me to change it and we'll play something that you want to listen to because I'll listen to
Yeah.
anything and I'll be out there singing at 3, 4 in the morning horribly,
Right.
but it picks up the pace and it picks up
Yeah.
the morale and, like, we with our disco loops, like, I think that
Yeah.
music just kinda pumped everybody up.
Either you sing with us or you need to go faster to get away from our singing because it's going to
Exactly,
happen.
either way, we're helping you.
Yes.
Yeah. And then so we make it to the next morning, and this point, the 8 a.m. races start, the DJ's back out. And what's cool about this bounce house is there's like a lot of moms out at this race that are just like their kids are just having the best life. They throw rocks in the lake and jump in the bounce house, and there's energy and music at the start line. So I really wanted to go jump in the bounce house, but there was like so many kids in there, and I knew that they would like mess me up and double bounce me and break my knee. So like, okay, I'll just keep pushing, but really
You
is
can't
good for
back
races.
out, Justin, you're getting old.
I'm getting old.
Frail.
We talked about that too, and Sarah's like, "No, my knees already has a hole in it. I'm not going to the bounce house." But yeah, we should have went in there and played jump around. Now, so that was a missed opportunity.
Next year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's gonna happen. So we have the energy from the morning races, and we are getting closer. We're about 70, about 75, 80 miles. And now I know the power of the sunrise. And the girls start talking and they're like, "We have it in the bag. We're gonna get 100 miles. I just don't know if I want to like keep pushing to get under cutoff." And Isaac's a cool guy. Like if he'll go home and sleep and come back and give you your buckle if you want to be out there all day. And so the talk started happening. And I think you guys have seen this before in a race where it's maybe I'll just finish the race, but not be an official finisher. And I was like, we came way too far. We did everything right. We were so smart. We're so calculated. We fought through our low point. We didn't fight through our low point just to slow down to an easier pace to get a buckle. Like I really, whenever all of us to finish, and I kind of tried to be like, no, no, we got this. Come on. We're like, I don't know,
What was the cutoff for this one?
32 hours.
32. Okay.
Okay.
No, and 32 hours is very fair. About 8,000 feet of elevation gain because it's a 200-foot hill. One thing I
Mhm.
will say, which we can easily normalize on this podcast, we were walking the whole thing. We were not running. We wanted to power hike it at a 16-minute mile. And I think a lot of people will like discredit your 100 miler. I mean, you get the same buckle if you walk or run it, but you get less flowers if you walk it, you know? And I
Mhm.
think walking it is tough because if you're walking a 100 miler, you have so little room for error. If you're running
Yeah.
and things go bad, then you can run again to make up your time. But when I said, like, we have 2 hours of leeway, that's, really all we had to mess with, and our 2-hour buffer was pretty much gone because at the beginning of the race, we'd call out, "What are we getting? Who needs what?" And if someone needed something, I can grab it from the aid station, or I can go to our camp and get it, and we were real efficient with that, and at the end of the race, "What are we getting?" "I don't even know. I don't care." And so we were losing time at the aid station. We would stop and shop around and have to go to the bathroom a lot. So we kinda lost our buffer, and I was, like, getting a little emotional, and they were kinda just like, Justin, you're so strong right now. Just go. Just take off and go. You're trying to finish 100 milers. Go take off running. You can finish this easily." And we get back to the starting line, and the girls go to the bathroom, and then Lindsay comes up to me, and I actually start, like, crying. I'm like, "Lindsay, I want us to finish. We worked so hard, and they're okay with not being official finishers right now, but they can do it. I know they can do it. I just want them to believe they could. I want them to want it." And Lindsay's like, "Okay." And she, like, actually gave me a hug, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't need a hug." Well, I guess I did, but I wasn't expecting a hug. I just didn't know. And Lindsay went and put her shoes on, and we had, like, 20 miles. She's like, "Okay, I'm pacing you." And then when Lindsay came out and paced, everyone locked in.
Mhm.
And now we don't have to think about the pace. We have a pacer, and I wasn't going in this race thinking I'd have a pacer. I was thinking I'm gonna have to keep track of time the whole time. And we're going along. And then Sarah just goes, "You know what? I'm just gonna run." And she takes off fast. This is the same Sarah with a dang hole in her knee that was crying and hungry and broken and had to sing. I had to get her singing No Scrubs to get moving. She took off flying. And in the last 14 miles, she lapped Stacy and I on this 2-mile loop. She was
Oh,
ready. I think she was ready to be done.
like,
Yeah.
peace, losers. I'm finishing.
Yes, and I don't care. I would much rather have her finish it, get off that dang knee than be out here until, like, 5 p.m. because Isaac will give us a buckle. And I was like, "Okay,
Mhm.
well, Sarah finished," and then so Stacy and I are out there, and we're going, and then Stacy just looks deep in thought, and I was like, "Hey, what are you thinking?" She's just like, I think she was trying to something along the lines of, "Where did we go wrong? Like, how did this happen?" Because we had a smart game plan, and I was like, "Well, we kept a good pace. We have a good pace now. We had one low point. We took one break. Everything went according to plan, but these are just really, really hard. The shit's hard."
It is
And
hard.
yeah, but if we're gonna walk a 16-minute mile and you think of, like, all the times where, like, you have to stop and go to the bathroom, and I told her, I was like, "If you think about the easiest race to walk is one with a 33-hour cutoff because a 20-minute mile for 100 miles is like 33 hours. And anything under that, you're gonna have to push a little bit, and you're gonna have to minimize your breaks." And we did all of that, and we didn't have to run once because we were so smart. The only downside is that we knew we would be out here for 32 hours when all of our friends, we hear them getting cheered in. That's the thing about a 2-mile loop. You hear
Mhm.
the cheering and screaming, and everyone's finishing, and you're still out there for more hours to come. But it was really beautiful to see, and I wish we could have, like, shaved a little more time off, but it kinda shows that even if everything goes perfectly right, it's still really, really hard.
100 miles is a long ways. Like, I mean, no matter how many we've done, it's still like, are we there yet?
Yeah, and she was the 3rd person that I've done a 100 miler with from start to finish. It was Kathy Bratton, you, Lisa, and then Stacy. And Stacy, we're a great team because, well, I'm just lazy and I go off your guys' walking pace, but she wouldn't, like, eat a ton, and so when we go get burgers, she'd only be like, "I want half a burger. Justin, do you want the other half?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Well, do you want a full burger or do you want the other half of mine?" And I was like, "Both." And so she would, like, open a can of Coke but not wanna finish it all. So I was her garbage disposal because she didn't wanna waste any food, and I'm a fat ass. So I, like, ate
I
every
wish you the best too, because I can't finish. I can't eat a whole burger or drink a whole can of Coke, so I'm always like,
Mm.
"Somebody finish my food."
that's why you guys keep me around. I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
One thing we did learn after the race, and that I didn't do during the race, but I might consider it, I didn't realize that dudes can take Midol, and that Midol is a fatigue medicine.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of guy that says, like, "Don't try anything in the race because it's like, I'm doing 100 miles. I doubt one mistake is gonna
Drug.
ruin the 100-miler. Yeah, like, why not? Let me go home to my wife and tell her about the first time I took a Midol at Mile 80. Like, that'll be a great story.
It's what
Did it work?
I didn't take it. We were just talking about it after the race, because that's the thing. Guys don't get that. You girls can't be like, "Hey, race, I can't be on my period this weekend because I need to run a 100-miler." Like, your body doesn't care, right?
No.
So so there was
Nobody's
Midol out on
nervous
the
getting
course,
there.
and, some women had to push that. Some women had to do 100 miles on their period. I'm like, "God
Oh.
damn, I'm struggling to do it, like, just in my normal feelings." I can't imagine going through that too, so more power to you guys. That is incredible if anyone has had to do that.
Get snacks every couple of miles though to kinda feed the dragon, as I call it.
Feed the dragon. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the thing. I need to know this terminology so when I'm out there, I'm not just like,
Like,
"Oh,
"Justin,
I
you need
love."
to feed the dragon. Give me
Wow.
Oreos with peanut butter."
But you eat this anyway. How are we gonna
No. It's when you wrap it in bacon.
So, and I'm gonna shift over now from my race to stories that need to be told from Vian. My friend Nestor was doing his first 100-miler, and he's really fast, and he's kinda shorter, so he just kinda, like, scoots, kinda has, like, that shuffle, but it's a fast shuffle. He just kinda scoots along. And he was going so fast, I'm like, "Oh, no," like, first 100-miler, like, he's gonna hit a wall, and we've all seen it. I'm like, "No, no, no, slow down," and I didn't wanna tell him to slow down because I suck at running, so I can't be his coach on it, and he just kept going and going and going, like, dang it, like, I'm waiting for it to happen. I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna say if I see him sitting down and broken, like, "Hey, it'll get better," and the freaking dude never stopped. I think he finished in, like, 19 hours and, like,
Wow.
For his
first ever
first
100-miler. Yeah, just under 20 hours. It was either just under 20 hours or just under 21. Set the course record, obliterated it, and then just put his feet back and then cheered people on, and just
Wow.
amazing.
That's amazing.
So, shout out to Nestor because I think he went out there to see what he's capable of, but I think there's definitely more to
There's more.
find.
There's more. I feel
Oh,
Good
yeah.
that.
for him.
Yeah. The other kinda shout out, there is a run club in Tahlequah called Kaizen. And Kaizen is like a Japanese prophecy built on continuous improvement and always getting better. And
Yeah.
so they have Kaizen all over their stuff and their logos and the number one rule of Kaizen is no matter what's going on, you just be kind and cheer people on around you. If you're in a race and you're in the worst spot, if you have Kaizen on your chest, you have to be kind and cheer the person that's passing you. If you're passing someone, you have to be kind to them. And that is easy to say, but that's something that John, and Matt, the 3 guys that kinda run Kaizen, they model. And so now imagine this 2-mile loop race with the Kaizen Run Club, which is like 60 runners out there, and all of them were just cheering people on, and they
Mm,
really set the vibe. And they put their camp right next to the start finish line. And if someone's finishing their 100-miler, they made the little tunnel where you run through that. Yes. It's
I
like
love
every running community needs a Kaizen club.
I
I don't know if people in Oklahoma realize how grateful we should be to have a club like that to where all they do is just come to every race and elevate the race and raise the vibes and help each other out. And what's so cool with a club like that is that they feed off each other to where Nestor's in that club. So Nestor went out there. So if Nestor's going to go out there and knock out the 100-miler, they had another, I think her name was Rachel. I'm sorry, I forgot her name wrong, but she knocked out her first ever marathon. And the vibes were just everyone screaming, yelling, cheering. And so many first 100-milers, first marathoners. And so it was real beautiful to see, kind of like Jackalope Jam. It is like an arena to come to see what you're made of. It's a 2-mile loop. You have support. There's a DJ. There's a bounce house if you need to take a nap. There's
would be
mashed
so
potatoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one of those. Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna go out to eat and order, like, a burger with a side of mashed potatoes and just, like, slap it on there.
Yes. Yep,
I mean, it
man,
hits a little different when it's 100 miles in.
I might
we'll
have to
see. We'll
yeah,
see.
we'll see.
It might. It might
Okay.
adjust as hard. I'm curious. There's another food group. I don't know. Have you guys ever had pierogies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Race, yes.
Not during a
I've
race,
never
though.
heard of them before.
I've had them as during a trail race.
You didn't know what a pierogi was?
No, I'm just a little simple man from Ohio, and then living in Oklahoma, that's like some European. So for those of you listening who are like me and had no idea what a dang pierogi is, think of like a ravioli. It's like some kind of like pocket of a pasta, but inside this pasta pocket is mashed potatoes and cheese, and they saute it in butter to cook the insides of it. So if you're running a race and you come to an aid station and you take this little piece of greatness that looks like a ravioli and you take a bite into it, it's pasta, mashed
You'll get
potatoes, and
caught.
cheese.
You'll get
Yeah,
yeah.
it's life changing. When Stacy was running an aid station, I ran to her. She's like, "Do you want a pierogi?" And I'm like, "I thought that was like a pastry or something." I was, "It sounds like a sugary." I'm like, "No," she's like, "No, try it." I'm like, "Okay." I bit into it. I was like, "Oh, that's not sweet. That's mashed potatoes inside of pasta." My life has been changed. So that is something I
Mm.
had in a race that I then had outside of a race and was still good. So I
So
think the mashed burgtato will be the same way.
potato. Okay. I'm gonna get on that.
So, like, Lisa doesn't have anything until June. I'm gonna try my hardest not to run any 100-mile races, and I wanna be fresh and well-trained and in incredible shape going into Cogadona on May 4th. So we got the past, we got the present, and that brings us to the future, which is Nicole. What do you have on your schedule?
Well, this weekend I have a 50K here in Austin. I know Lisa's gonna be there at an aid station, and I think you have a friend there too, right?
I
That's
have a
running?
couple friends running. Yeah, so I'll be feeding you.
Sounds good. But yeah, I think the 50K is their longest distance, so it's not 100K, it's not 100 miles, but it's something.
You can't be like just a 50K. That's like
No, and this weekend might be a little challenging because it is supposed to rain. The trails could get muddy and stuff. So it's going to be a pretty challenging. I don't know what the course is like, but this is with Tejas Trails, Great Springs, Austin
Yes.
called. So
Yeah.
have you looked
Nicole,
in?
do
I
you have any
don't even know what the course is like. So
I heard it's hilly, but I
yeah,
don't know.
it'll be
you
a good
haven't
time.
checked it out?
It's gonna be a surprise.
I love that about us.
Like looking at maps or looking at the course, I'm just like, let me just
Yeah,
show up and wing it and see what happens.
it's not
Have you
that
even done, like
far, I mean,
have you done a YouTube search to even see what it looks like? I
no.
love that. I love
Okay.
that.
I was just like, "Well, there's one this weekend, I'm available, so I'll just do it." Kinda
And
like
it's
what Lisa was saying.
it's close by.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know the cutoff time for the 50K? How long you have to do it?
Uh, I think so it starts at 6:30 in the morning, and I think it said we have till, like, 4:30 in the afternoon or something, so it's a pretty decent cutoff, like, we got time.
Finish? Because I know my volunteer shift is till, like, 4 something, so it's
Yeah.
about right.
We got plenty of time. That could be a bad sign, actually, that could mean that it's really hard.
I don't know, Tejas races are deceptively hard because 'cause they're all, like, in the hill country, so you always think, like, races in Texas are flat, but Texas isn't flat, and they
Mhm.
pick some pretty hard races, so I don't know, if I wasn't volunteering the whole time, I'd kinda hop in with you and do a couple miles.
Yeah, I think it has, like, 2 loops, right, Lisa? It's like a 5-mile loop and a 6-mile loop or something?
Yeah, they're small loops because I think there's only 2 aid stations. There's the start finish and then yeah, they're like it's about a 6-mile loop. So you'll have
Okay.
5 loops to do?
Okay, so we have no idea what the course looks like. We vaguely know the cutoff. Have you trained? I
Eh,
love that. You are such a trail runner. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. This is gonna go so well.
I
Have you
mean,
your stomach, have you been eating garbage?
I have not been eating garbage. I tried to eat healthy this week. I had some salad, but I've been having my electrolytes so I can stay hydrated,
There you
Stay
go.
at
hydrated.
least because it's gonna be hot. Even though
It's
it's might be
hot.
raining, it's gonna be hot.
I will feed you Oreos with peanut butter.
Sounds good.
I was thinking, well, surely Nicole's doing 5-mile loops because this is a 5-mile loop and a 6-mile loop. And I was like, wait a minute, Nicole like works and is like doing the whole going to school to be a doctor or whatever kind of thing. So she probably hasn't ran at all.
I
But
did that half marathon, like, 2 weeks ago, so
okay.
All the
that's,
training
like,
you need.
halfway.
Yeah, that's all the training you need.
What's funny is we were at Vian and the 4-mile race started, and then as they're passing us, "Oh my god, girl, I didn't even train for this at all." They're like, "I didn't train either." And I was like, "You're in the right place." They're like, "No, I'm serious. I haven't ran at all." And I was like, "No, like, you're really in the right place.
This is
This is the Lake Vian
hard.
Hilltop Run. Training is optional. Party is mandatory."
Okay, so is that my advice for this weekend? Bring the party?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Have a good time. The party vibes. It's all about
Mhm.
the vibes you bring to the trails, I feel like, at Rocky Raccoon, I was the last one, but I was always just well, one of the last ones. I was always just aware of where I was with the cutoffs, which was very close. But I was just vibing with the freaking aid station workers, and I had like 5 nicknames by the end of the race. Like I was Raccoon Girl, I was Peanut Butter Oreo Chick. I took a shot of whiskey with the trail gnomes at like 3 in the morning. They were looking for me the next day to finish. Like just go out and have a good time and vibe and make friends with everybody because I think that's what it's all about.
Experience the race, make it to Lisa. Lisa's gonna take a picture of you. I'm gonna Photoshop a super hot dude next to you. I don't send it to you unless you finish.
Can you make him real?
We're gonna talk to you during the race, okay?
Perfect.
I'm gonna ask
AI's
everyone
not that
who's
good.
single, every single guy. I'd be like, "Are you single? I got a friend, and if you don't like her, I'm single too."
Thank you. Yes, let's
You're
do
Oh
it.
my god. We're doing, like what is that called? Like, Match or whatever?
Oh my god, what was that show
Matchmaking.
on MTV with, what was it? Jenny McCarthy? Singled Out. Up Days, Singled
I
Out.
remember Date My Daughter.
That's okay, so Nicole, you turn your bib to the back, and then it's
Okay.
like, say your bib 3, 4, 5. And then Lisa, whenever, like, an attractive guy comes in, "Hey, you single?" If you see bib 3, 4, 5, she's a catch. Try to
Ugh,
catch her. And then dudes will be running faster, trying to catch them before the other single dude tries to catch
just
her.
left. She just left. Go catch her.
There you go.
Okay. Send them my way.
'Cause there's
Yeah.
6-mile loops, each loop you can do with a different dude. It's like speed dating.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
I always said Jackalope Jam would be perfect for speed dating. You just go out on a 2-mile loop, and then if you don't like
Mhm.
him, be like, "Next," and, one day.
Then you'd have to see him every few minutes.
True. This is true.
And then maybe Lisa might see a guy that looks charming but is somewhat annoying. And then if he catches up to you and says, "Hey, you're 3, 4, 5. I was told to see you." And then if he's annoying, you're going to run fast to get away from him. And that'll get you closer to the 50K finish.
That's
Yes.
true.
So I'm just helping you in both ways.
Yeah. And I mean, they'll see me at my worst right away, with the rain and sweat and dirt and mud and
Oreo
hopefully
in
no
your
blood.
teeth.
Yes.
Oreos and peanut butter all over your face and your teeth. Yeah. You'll be a catch. You are a catch.
And that's the thing too. Like, bro, if you like me now, I'm actually at my worst. It gets better. Just wait until I take a shower.
That's how dating needs to go. You need to start down here and then work your way
Oh.
up. Instead of
So
like here for a date and then they see you here, start down here. That's how it
That's a great
yeah.
works.
idea.
So it's not just no filter, it's no filter. Like it's we're out here.
So for our listeners, we're DNF experts, but we're also trail dating experts too. Just to let you know.
Add that to the resume.
Add
I
that to
am
my resume.
so proud of us. It's 4 episodes in, we finally went off the rails like Happy Cast. We're gonna make it.
We are gonna make it. Oh, man. And do you have any goal times for the 50K or just to finish?
I think to finish, I think, because I DNF'd that other 50K earlier this year and I was really upset. So I think if I could just get a good finish, that'd be
Your
good.
redemption 50K?
Yeah,
Do you at least know what the finisher medal looks like?
I don't.
You're gonna be so full of surprises this weekend.
I'm
My God.
just assuming there's a medal. I don't even know. I hope there is.
Absolutely love that. I love that. There's a race nearby. It's a 50K, and pretty much it's oh Lisa's gonna be there.
I gotta go.
Gotta go.
It'd be 10,000 feet of elevation gain, but
Lisa was supposed to run it with me. I don't know why she's volunteering, but
'Cause I
whatever.
need to pay for races. They're expensive.
so if you'd like to
Yeah.
sponsor us and sponsor Lisa so she can get her to 37 medals this year, please reach out to us at failsonthetrails@gmail.com.
Yes.
Also, I need to get to Lugaroo with you guys.
Yes. Yes. We're gonna have a Cajun party on the trails. It'll be a good time.
We need to make t-shirts.
Yes. I think we
That's a good
should.
idea.
That'd be a
Yeah.
good idea. Great idea.
Like a swamp monster on them.
Ooh.
There'll be alligators there too, right?
They do, but it's loup-garou, which is French for werewolf, so I feel like we need to have, like, the Cajun werewolf out there
And he's fighting off the alligators.
fighting off the alligators
Yeah.
while eating crawfish
Yes.
and gumbo, because we get gumbo at the finish line, you didn't know.
How the hell do we wrap this up? Lessons learned.
During our last 3, during the past, present, and future, have we learned anything?
Absolutely. I learned that I might have invented the burgtato, the mashed burgtato, because I thought for sure like someone else would have tried that. So I'm proud of that. I I didn't learn it, but I've shared, and I think you guys have learned that if you have a photoshopped muscular man next to you, AI will not allow you to give him a piggyback ride.
I know, what the but he could give me a piggyback ride.
Yes, sexist, ridiculous.
Yes.
Really
Do
sexist.
better. Do better, ChatGPT.
Better AI.
I learned that we are a terrible influence on Nicole because he signed up for a race not knowing the medal, the course, the anything,
Just the
just
dis
knowing
just the distance,
The distance and location, and
and then I'll be
why
there.
not?
what more do
Mhm.
you need, people? What more do you need? What
Lisa and Oreos.
think of all the people out there who didn't sign up for a race because they just weren't feeling the finish or medal or they just the aid stations were too far apart. No, be like Nicole. Just do it with having no expectations and no idea of what's going to happen. And that way you can go, have fun, be surprised. And if you're single, maybe even find a date.
Well, sometimes you just gotta get the miles in, you know? And it's nice to be with other people as opposed to, like, going in my neighborhood and just running for 6 hours, it's kinda boring.
Yeah, this sounds like more fun.
You guys have any lessons learned?
What did I learn? Kinda all of what you said, because I was like, I learned about the what do you call it?
Mashed burgtato.
Mashed potato. I'm very excited to add that to my diet. Weather plays a big part in races, I feel like. So I think a lesson is just to always be prepared for all the weather. I try to, but sometimes I don't even like to look at the weather, and it's a surprise, like how Nicole is when she signs up for a race. She likes to be surprised. I like to be surprised by the weather, and I just pack my whole entire closet and hope for the best. I learned that you can run through horrendous injuries like the cut you had on your finger, and I'm very proud of you for finishing your
Mm,
race, Justin. I'm really proud
thank
of you.
you.
Mhm.
I dug deep.
Mhm.
You did you dug deep. Well, if that's a word. Digged deep. Nicole.
Yes, Justin deserves a gold star for that. I think I learned that Justin lives under a rock because he doesn't know what pierogies are,
I do now.
and I learned that there are races that are more fun than the ones that I've been doing and have bouncy houses, and I need to find those.
You need to just ask us for our race schedules from now on. Like, I think I've sent you mine a few times. You just need to show up.
Okay, okay, I will.
Okay. My store's sticking to it. Just show up. That's my lesson. Just show up.
All right. So if you are going to the Great Springs Trail Race in Austin, Texas, and you see Lisa at an aid station, make sure she puts peanut butter on your Oreos. And by Nicole, feel free to say hi to her and let her know what's coming ahead because she doesn't know because she has the trail is. We will talk to you all later. And till next time.